So thank you for coming. Welcome to what you will see eventually in just a second, our healthcare facility. This project was actually built and paid for by premium and interest from our 2015 bond program that we did. It was recommended and approved by the 27J Bond Oversight Committee. We realized and recognized that students need to be in school to get the best education possible. This clinic helps us keep our students here at school instead of being at home where they have to wait to go to other clinics and other services. With the clinic being right here, they can get the services that they need so that they can get healthier and healed and get back to class so that they can do the best learning possible.
The space was made possible by the 2015 bond program. As Greg mentioned, the bond oversight committee approved the expenditure, which was great news because I had already committed to it. So that was wonderful. Norma, as you know, is a heck of a saleswoman. So she approached me, 3 or 4 years ago at a Commerce City event. Hey, I think you need a student-based health center. Hey, I think you're right. Let's talk some more about it. And then we passed our bond and we had a way to build the space. So I don't want to steal the rest of the show, but we're really grateful for the opportunity for our kids.
We're very excited to have this opportunity for our students to provide them some healthcare services that a great number of our students would be seriously lacking. So for all of you who have contributed, all of our partners, Kids First, Platte Valley Medical Center, Salud Clinic, Community Reach Center, thank you all very much for your support. We couldn't be doing this without you.
Norma talks about leadership. If some of you have been on a board before, you know that you have people bringing you ideas and you say yes or no, you're voting to put the project forward or not, and be part of it. The work is done by everybody else other than the board. The decision at our end is almost always to support the people that are in the trenches. And I know a lot of you are here, I recognize a lot of your faces, so I want to thank you. Kurt, Stepan, I've been on the board for about 7 years, been the president for almost 2 years now. I came to Kids First about 7 years ago and met Norma, and the first thing she did was took me over to Adams City Middle School so I could see the school-based facility there, and it kind of opened my eyes on what school-based healthcare is. And it opened my eyes to what services they can provide. It isn't just your standard nurse's office services. It's things like annual physicals, including athletic physicals, immunizations, acute care, and urgent care, or injury care, management of chronic conditions like asthma and diabetes. They do medical screenings, they do mental health counseling, and as I met someone, I'm spacing on his name, but dental care, the gentleman from Salud who I got to meet, who's actually sitting right behind me, is going to speak. But it's really cool to bring all these different services together under one roof. One of the most important services that I think is also brought in is the education process and the health education that the kids get. Because when you educate, you oftentimes eliminate future problems. The message I like to talk about with Kids First is the goal is to provide health care to kids who need it. And if you think about just that simple statement, health care to kids who need it, and that's what's happening here. Growing up, most of us remember the nurse's office where you probably got a thermometer or you got a cot to lay on, and if you were lucky or maybe unlucky, you got a bucket next to the cot in case you actually did get sick. You know, those things happen. It's amazing how far things have come from that mentality when you look at this facility and how much is done in a facility like you're having in this school right now at Brighton High School. This facility is here because of the support of the school district, because of the efforts of the Kids First team, the staff, and the support of the community. It's a privilege to be here and representing the board of directors, and it's an honor to be here today to be representing Kids First.
So when I met Chris a couple of years ago, a movie came to mind, and you're thinking, why does this health center remind Norma of a movie? And what I kept saying to him was, if you build it, they will come. And every time I met with him, I said, if you build it, they will come. And so he and the voters who approved the bond and his wonderful leadership team and the school team built this building, built the facility, and they are coming in. And I want to give you an example. We opened the doors on August 21st, so we've been open 11 school days, and we've seen 63 patients. We've seen them for sports physicals, we've seen them for headaches, strep throat, abdominal pain, wrist pain that resulted in a fracture. We administered medication for headaches and allergies, and we provided TB tests for the kids in the CNA class. So we've already seen 63 kids, and that is a lot for opening a first school-based health center in the district. It's not as if the kids went to school-based health centers in middle school and immediately understood what the concept was when they walked in as ninth graders. So this is awesome. It's just going to get better. A lot of students have walked in on their own. Many have showed excitement about becoming patients. During freshman orientation, many of the Teen Link leaders brought their small groups through the clinic. We figured about 300 students did that. Many families toured the clinic at night. Our staff has delivered presentations to the entire staff and to smaller groups so that teachers could ask questions. Many teachers have dropped in for tours. So far we have found the staff, the families, and the students to be extremely positive about the health center, and we are so happy that we are getting this warm welcome. So when I think about the new health center, the word grateful comes to mind. First of all, I'm grateful to a lot of people. I'm grateful to 27J that we're able to provide this service, and we're going to serve hundreds of students this year and thousands over the period of several years, as long as the building is here and we can afford to be open. We will be providing services, so thousands and thousands of kids are going to get care. We're grateful to the close collaborative relationship we've had with the district. I want to call out Principal Shelly, because she and her staff have been phenomenal to work with. Our staff say that you and your staff could not be doing more. Your custodial staff, the coaches, the teachers, just everybody from A to Z has been extremely helpful. We're very grateful to our funders for construction and operating costs, and this never ever would have happened without all the funding. So I'm just going to list them in order of the most funding we've got. I'm not going to go into what everybody did, but first of all, of course, there's the voters who passed the 2015 school construction bond. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment will fund us. They fund us for planning and for operations, and will for the next several years. COBIZ Financial, a wonderful organization, selected us to be the beneficiary of the COBIZ Bash, which is a big concert at the Fillmore on Colfax this year. Raise money for the dental equipment. Platte Valley Medical Center, John Hicks and his team and Peggy, the Community Health Investment program called SHIP, gave us a large sum of money for the medical equipment, IT equipment, and furniture. So, I mean, it would be great to build the walls, but if you hadn't given us that money, we would not be furnished and be equipped. So thank you. Colorado Health Foundation gave us a grant, the Rose Community Foundation, and the Schlushman Family Foundation. So grateful, grateful, grateful. We're extremely grateful to our partners, Salud Family Health Clinics, who will be providing the dental. And we have a history of doing this. They've done that with us at Adams City High School, so we know how to collaborate. And then Community Reach Center, who will be providing the mental health services. So we'll have physical health, dental health, and mental health. And that is considered best practice. For those of you who don't know, fully integrated services in one location with the staff who collaborate together. And then I'm, of course, grateful to the Kids First Board of Directors that I've already mentioned, and I'm extremely grateful to the fabulous staff we have. We have the most exemplary staff, highly qualified in terms of medical and in every other way, shape, and form. We've got the best staff. So the last thing I want to do with my time is just to tell you that it was really easy for me to sell this concept to Chris. Really, really easy. All I had to do was show him the evidence that has been conducted around the country that shows that school-based health centers directly, positively impact student achievement. And there have been just numerous studies. And if you want to know what they are, I'll give you my business card. It shows that they help the kids advance a grade, stay in school, and graduate, improves their health status, reduces absenteeism, decreases discipline referrals, increases parental involvement, and improves readiness to learn in general. So school-based health centers can impact academic achievement, and that's what we hope to do. So we also, by the way, address family issues. So a lot of parents don't have transportation to get their kids to the doctor, or they're going to lose time and money from work if they're day laborers, or it could jeopardize their job. So we hopefully are helping families retain their employment and helping employers increase their worker productivity.
The oral health affects overall health, the behavioral health affects the oral health. They're linked. So to be able to offer all these services in one location is the best practice. On the dental side, we'll be offering dental screenings, dental cleanings, fluoride treatments, and sealants, and we'll be doing referrals as needed to our clinic. Dental cavities is the leading chronic disease in children and is caused by preventable factors. So it's a disease that we know how to prevent, but we're not. And so when we can come be a part of a collaboration in a school like this, when we can bring services to the kids, we can reduce barriers so that they can get these preventive services, then we know we can have a bigger impact through prevention. So again, we're excited to be a part of a team approach through prevention. Earlier it was stated the goal is keep our kids healthier and in class, and we're very excited to be a part of a team that will achieve that. I'd also like to thank our partners 27J and definitely Kids First for inviting us to be a part of this collaboration. As Norma has stated, we've been working with them at the Adams City High School as well, and we just can't wait to get started.
The kids are coming in with problems that are affecting their ability to get the most out of their education, and the types of problems they have are things that we're used to addressing, and I think we'll be able to help them to be more successful, happier in life, and to show up at school every day. The kids here have a great attitude. The kids have been in, they want to participate in their own health, and they want to feel better. And the parents so far, the ones I've spoken to, mostly over the phone, have been very cooperative and very enthusiastic about working on their kids. We follow the Colorado state laws about confidentiality and privacy. We follow the normal laws that all the medical providers in the state of Colorado follow. So basically, that means confidential services for any age around reproductive health. Mental health confidentiality starts at age 15. And we do a lot, the other medical services all require parental consent, and we're in contact with the parents. We check in with the parents. I mean, of course, if a kid came in and was acutely ill or needed a prescription, we're going to be calling them right away. If they came for a routine physical, my practice is to usually call the parent at the end of the visit and see if they have any other concerns and go over my concerns and the plan. We do referrals. We work with the kids' private provider. A lot of the kids have their own PCP, but they don't go to them that often because they're missing school or parents have to work. So we can work with the private provider, and we can be in addition to their private care. So if they have a private provider, we recommend they get their yearly visit with that private provider. But a lot of kids don't. A lot of kids have a private provider, but they end up going to urgent care for their sports physicals. So we can do that for them.
We have somewhere to go if we have something that we need to tell someone, and we get the support from people.
And it also makes it easier because then we can get physicals and stuff, and we don't have to go to the doctor. And they also are gonna do dentist kind of stuff.
It's definitely more convenient
because it's just right here, and you're already here, and you don't have to drive to the doctors and stuff.
And I guess after a while, you would get to know the people more.
So it's more comfortable.
So we feel one of the most important tenets of school-based health is youth engagement, because we really want the teens to take ownership of their health and to get honest, truthful health information from trusted adults. And one of the ways we encourage that is by having youth engagement groups or youth advisory committees, which we call our groups VOICE, which stands for Voicing Our Imperative Health Concerns Every Day. And we typically have teens come together once a week or once a month, and they can have speakers come in and talk to them about STIs or reproductive health, or teaching them about how to get insurance or to prepare for their future. And it really depends on the group what kind of information we provide them. And as a clinic, we really love having bi-directional communication with the youth. We want them to tell us how we're doing as their medical provider. Are we meeting their needs? Are we able to answer their questions? And if they have any concerns, if there's anything that they're worried about or they hear their peers talking about, they can bring those concerns to the group, and then we can do educational campaigns like a teen pregnancy prevention campaign or an anti-drug campaign, just depending on what's the most important to the youth. But we really respect their opinions, and this is their clinic, and so we really want them to be engaged in their health care and support them in any ways that we can.
So they give us advice about how to make the clinic look. They also help us understand how to relate to teens so that they feel empowered and also respected when they come here. We also work with them to make sure everyone knows about the clinic at the school, especially at these new sites. It's new to the school. This is the first one in this district. So we help inform the other students through outreach events, marketing campaigns, all sorts of things. So they really help advise the clinic, they help us promote it, and then they work on health education. So we really focus a lot on mental health because that's been one of the biggest issues that they've identified. So we're probably going to be working on that a lot. But every year we have the students actually identify what the big issues are at their school. That way they can work on the things that really matter to other students. Yes, we bring in guest speakers who are experts in the field. So we might have a therapist who comes in or someone who works with safe driving. We've had them come in. Just different speakers who really know the material, so they help educate. And then we also figure out how to use that information and inform other students about it. So we think of different creative ways of sharing the information with the whole school. So that's kind of the idea, is getting really accurate, good information about topics that matter, and then bringing it to the rest of the school.